Curious what tone Cocaine Bear's going for? Well, Jane opened Wet Hot American Summer 2, Banks' first big role. So that, but with more detached limbs and drugs. Not gonna lie, the Lord Miller logo is definitely my aesthetic. 2 weeks in a row, these boys laying me bare. See, this is why you marry your TV wife IRL. Carrie Russell's husband Matthew Reese gets to show up for a day to do over-the-top coked-out air karate. That cut, so abrupt, so brutal, and definitely leans heavy on the based on part of the based on true events tag. The quote left up there just long enough for you to go, huh, this sounds true. I mean, it sounds insane, but animal facts are often crazy, and just as you accept it, Wikipedia fades in, perfectly executed.
Ragnhild, maybe?
The dreamy, romantic opening between Olaf and Elsa during the year I was born, scored by the one and only Mark Mothersbaugh, obviously modeled after the other Olaf and Elsa that also went up a mountain and met a scary beast. Also solid cameos from Hannah Hoekstra and Christopher Hivju.
Sweetie, can I just say one last thing? It's about the band.
That is the one thing you said I could handle myself, and I've already made my decision, Elsa.
And again, for a movie that's based on true events, this is probably the most realistic moment.
I don't want to use your brother's band.
He's super, super good.
I mean, he's terrible, actually. His singing is like shit.
How is Mark Mothersbaugh not always a win yet? Does he miss perfectly 80s synth without being distracting? Mark Mothersbaugh is always a win.
It's beautiful. Thank you. I love you.
It is beautiful, isn't it? She's talking about his beard, right? I would.
We have such good luck in nature.
Ah, you said the thing. Now I won't feel nearly as bad when what's about to happen happens.
What'd you see?
Honestly, the most terrifying part of this movie.
If it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lay down.
Survival advice. Pretty good mnemonic phrase, really. It's also a very clear line for where the movie is going, since there aren't any grizzlies in this area.
Whatever you do, don't
Run!
Following instructions. Classic setup. A fun little expectation subversion to have Olaf trip, but Elsa be the one who gets attacked. To be fair, I think the bear knew not to mess with Tormund Giantsbane. And just like Jaws in Jurassic Park, the first kill is primarily off-screen. I said primarily, and is it even another little nod to the pond scene in Jaws with the severed leg? A title card that will probably get me demonetized. Flawless transition.
This is your brain on drugs.
It isn't glamorous or cool.
The thrill can kill.
Rest in peace, Paul Rubens. But also, yeah, cool, the war on drugs. It works so good. This is sarcasm.
A driveway in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Heck yeah, legend Tom Brokaw. The real ones know. This is not sarcasm. The real footage from the true story that happened. Give or take a few severed limbs. Rest in peace, Ray Liotta. Dang. And he really channeled his former son, George Young, with this character.
Damn, I just bought these.
See, David gets it. Genki really disrespected Miles' boundaries with his bare feet.
Joni just died, and he quit.
Joni's the reason why he quit. She's not here anymore. The sooner he moves on, the better.
So Sid is clearly a terrible dad and person. Dude is bathed in red light here. But I wonder if a misjudgment of the parent-child bond will eventually bring about his demise, causing him to be disemboweled in a surprisingly graphic way, figuratively speaking, of course.
He won't even come to get his damn son. I am sick and tired of watching my kid's kid.
To be fair, Eddie's not exactly winning Father of the Year either, which is an interesting way to introduce who ostensibly becomes our main protagonist. Madonna, Cyndi Lauper, Billy Idol, Adam Ant, and Depeche Mode. Dee Dee is officially the coolest middle schooler ever. Not to mention George Michael, Duran Duran, and I think, is that Jason Bateman? I hope my kids are taking notes.
We could get it fixed.
No, I gotta wait a week for it to heal first. I got 7 more days of John.
The tattoo mix-up is funny in a classic way, but the follow-up of him needing to wait 7 days for it to heal first, inspired.
Can I get the penne, please? Does it come with chicken, or is it just...
It's just plain.
It's always these little goofy convos that get me. Also, penne, top-tier pronunciation.
I don't know if I could trust anyone else around here.
Oof, irony.
For a girl who likes to be left alone, you do a lot of for attention.
Dang, Henry going for the throat. But I suppose it is our closest friends who know us best. Also, Dee Dee is dressed like Madonna.
I like the green one.
This is a red one.
Margot Martindale is a treasure, and not just because she shares a name with my daughter Sans teeth.
You got a dusty beaver here, Ranger.
Yeah, well, I'm working on that.
Look, I may be a full-grown adult, but if you think dirty jokes from an industry pro like Margot Martindale aren't going to get a win, you've barely been watching my channel long enough.
Told you it was big.
Oh, it's big.
Chekhov's veggie snacks.
So, how do I do it? You eat it. How much? Like a tablespoon's worth.
Of all the things I thought would kill a child in this movie, a tablespoon of coke was not one of them. Fun fact, eating coke will still affect you. Apparently, I've heard, you would get about a third of the dose versus smoking, snorting, injecting. And I've heard, it takes about an hour or two to kick in. So just like everyone's experience with their first edible, it becomes a problem. Actually, in this case, dangerous, because people are ingesting way more than their body can take. Once again, I've heard, because they aren't feeling it yet. How is this a win? Knowledge is power, that's how. And also, I'll probably keep doing this bit, but I've never done cocaine. Don't do tablespoons of drugs, kids. And one good thing about it is that unlike antifreeze, which is dangerous because it's sweet, also don't try it, it's poison, coke is bitter, so people are less likely to accidentally ingest it. You know, from all the coke people leave lying around.
Do you think my dad has ever done cocaine?
Your dad has definitely done cocaine.
Really love how open and honest this friendship is.
And my throat's really running.
Yeah, that'll happen. Realism. I've heard. All right, I'm done with that now.
Don't move muscle.
Pretty sure we can give an expectation subversion on that. I mean, I wasn't expecting the kids to get eaten yet, but a coke sneeze was definitely also not on my bingo card, as the kids say. Touche, Banks. Touche. The first glory hole? That must be a church in a cave or something? Oh yeah, caverns. Definitely what it is.
You know what? Maybe I should turn this on.
No! It's definitely played for laughs, but this is actually a pretty good representation of grief. That battle between wanting and not wanting to continue thinking about something that hurts you.
Friends? It means animals.
I don't like that word.
He doesn't like to call them animals.
Oh, Peter. Something tells me you're in for a radical realignment of perspective.
I didn't know rangers carried guns.
Park rangers are peace officers, which means we can shoot people.
It does, doesn't it? Chekhov's lack of healthy respect for the serious nature of firearms. Also apparently true of park rangers as well as KGB handlers in the 80s. Clearly the knife is scarier, but the skateboard ain't nothing. I've seen kids. Also, Bonsai? Is he quoting Karate Kid? You are not Danielson in this scenario, Vest. Considering they tried to mug and maybe murder a dealer connected to the cartel, they got off light. Also, clearly David could have murked these dudes with his eyes closed, so the fact that he's letting them live is another glimpse into him being maybe a good dude.
Where's this energy coming from, bud?
You tried to kill me.
You gotta find him out there, bud.
I didn't plan to like Stash so quickly, but his tone change is top tier.
Friend's pretty serious, ain't he?
Well, I don't think he's too happy about getting stabbed in the shoulder.
Well, it wasn't me. I don't blame him, though. Getting stabbed sucks.
Commiseration.
It was
Hey, that's inappropriate.
Where's the lie? Henry ain't wrong. Huh. Terrible trigger discipline. I wonder if that comes into play later. Obviously, a coked out bear mauling people is brutal, but this toss was the first moment the bear attacks in this movie went from kind of funny horror movie to, oh snap, remember The Revenant? This would be awful.
You're safe. Bears can't climb trees.
Of course I can!
Then why are you up here?
Realism. All that head knowledge often goes out the window when fight or flight kicks in. What a shot. The little glimpse of the starkness of Sari's dope pink romper against the green of the forest is killer. The implied size and power of her claws. Fun fact, bears actually do claw trees, often to mark their territory, which is always a little harrowing when you come across a clawed up tree on a hike. And hey, Henry's doing the thing. Fight back, because she's black. Whoa, wait. Black bear. Again, I was pretty sure we weren't going to see a kid get eaten in this film, but it was at this point that I started questioning my assumptions. The speed of the bear here is monstrously frightening and pretty close to accurate, maybe minus the coke boost. But I've seen cubs move that fast up a tree. I'd call that a radical realignment of perspective. That's one way to get a bear physique. And that's the pitch for the movie right there. And happy to learn that Chris Miller was responsible for the idea.
I'd love to not remember that, but it kind of seems like the thing that stays with a man forever.
Never change, Henry. That's some real introspection that will really come in handy with the therapy.
That's a f***ing bear.
Hilariously brutal Pulp Fiction murder. In this long take, Liz's scream.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. You're sorry? I'm sorry. Where'd the bear go?
And she just shakes it off like the peace officer she is. This is my kind of cut. All build up, a split second of the violence, and then the cut.
But Mama Bear and Papa Bear would be very angry.
What if they would never find out?
Oh, Henry, we always find out.
Damn straight, kids. Wait, stop watching this video, kids. It's rated R. But us parents always know. Except when I was a kid, which was weird. I never knew. I guess this just means I'm always the one knowing. Yeah, that's it. Hey, the Angry IKEA guy. Scott Zeiss's content was very therapeutic for friends of mine who work in retail and food. Wait, I need to start uploading on TikTok, huh? I want to get mauled in a horror comedy directed by Elizabeth Banks. Everyone else gets to do everything fun. The concentric waves of blood is pretty gnarly. That's what you get with practical blood guns. The hand is on screen for like 15 frames and your brain immediately knows it's not where it should be.
Beth, we should go.
And Ranger Liz's heartbeat in the background really ups the ante on the tense sound design. Also, yes, they should go. Seems like an odd time for a beer. Oh, beer! I mean, beer. Bear. Quick thinking. Brutal that she's leaving Tom, but honestly impressive that she didn't just bail on Ranger Liz and is actually still trying to save her.
Leave him!
I appreciate the commitment to making Ranger Liz just the absolute worst. Classic Depeche Mode jam. It even gets another win for its association with Forrest and Celtic. Yeah. Ha, comeuppance. Oh my god, that's gonna haunt me. Dang. Poor Liz's face laid bare, right down to bare bones. And you know when the EMTs are screaming in fear something has gone wrong. Another moment that goes from, haha, fun horror movie to, oh god, that would be awful, I don't care for this in like 2 seconds. And she's just pissed because the medkit didn't have any coke in it.
Lizards are good listeners, bud. People are good at hearing.
Alden Ehrenreich's reaction here is pretty amazing. Making new friends. Hugging.
How did you get up there?
Well, I jumped from that tree over there, but I hurt my hip a little.
The little sounds.
How'd he take those 2 fingers off? They're not even next to each other.
Solid Greek chorusing from Stash. Gotta love that after witnessing fingers get shot off, that's his concern. My first reaction is, well, he's goo. But female black bears average around 175 pounds and have only been recorded to peak at around 350. And while that would be no fun, Eddie, while uncomfortable and struggling to breathe, would probably still be alive.
Oh man, you f***ed.
Candor. That's a lot of coke. That's too much coke, Cokie the Bear. Ha, Cokie the Bear. I get it now. This is how habits are formed. POV, you're a bear high on coke. And she's being pretty dang cute here, especially since she's not currently ripping apart my trash. Sorry. Obviously this would be terrifying, but I think she just really likes you, bud. I've seen that Russian bear. They love to dance. Man, she's just having the best day now that she has her bear necessity. Aw, and she's mad because her fairy coke mother got shot.
How long has he been alone?
You left him with me. Do I look like Daddy Daycare Center to you?
Yeah, he does not. Honestly, besides all the drug stuff, trusting Sid with Gabe has been Eddie's only real big blunder.
It trusted you. I trusted you with Rosette.
I know.
Who's Rosette?
The dog in my car.
You left a dog in the car?
You left my son in St. Louis.
Great comedic dialogue, great timing. Also amazing piece of score with the horns really selling Bob's feeling of betrayal. Over Rosette. Cocaine Cubs.
That looks really deep. Here. Ow! Ow, Henry!
This entirely aligns with everything we've learned about Henry.
You mean that you guys did drugs?
You told her? No?
I had a suspicion and you just confirmed it.
See? Oh, how do they always know? Kids are stupid, that's how. Jude can be a great liar until he starts riffing about how the man who broke into our house stole a purple crayon and wrote J-U-D-E on the wall. I'm not kidding. Fun fact, Elizabeth Banks wanted a close-up of Olaf's torn-off face, but everyone talked her out of it because they thought it would overwhelm the story. But Banks loves gore and wishes there was more. I don't think we could be friends. Solid move. I'd say that deserves a badass, complicated bad guy, complicated good guy, somewhere in between there. Eddie too, putting himself between the gun and an innocent family, which definitely checks out since his wife just died and his son is currently alone.
Who are you?
I'm Mom.
And I like that that's the only pertinent information. Sid is also about to find out that that is the only pertinent information for the mama bear as well.
Get back!
Well, he dead, and I'm totes on board. In fact, if I was there, I'd do it with my own bare hands.
I am taking the children home.
Yeah, now the mom gets to bare her teeth a bit.
And it's a good thing he's not like you, because you're a piece of crap person and a bad dad!
Compliments, some insults, but the overall message, compliments.
Who the f are you?
I'm Henry, and I am so f***ing tired!
Honesty. Well, it is a stimulant, I've heard. It is sort of funny that it's like a Popeye healing serum for the bear, though. No inappropriate stone left unturned. You hit baby animals, you get your guts ripped out. I don't make the rules. Love the way Sid looks back at the mama. Look, we all know I'm romance pilled, and I know that the look is from one parent to another, but yeah, I'll be down for this. Aw, and he's got a little buddy now. Really hope no mob boss kids decide to like his car and follow him home. David, breaking the horror movie trope. Someone should call CPS, Cub Protective Services. Oh wait, that's the same acronym. DCF, Department of Cub and Furry Services, dang it. Honestly, glad Stash made it. You get out of there, my man. You take New York by storm. Just hop right in bareback. But yeah, I wouldn't trust a sheep either.
Vision, dreams of passion.
Classic jam, even if Sean and Ed's version is better. More hugging.
They weren't gonna put him back on.
Yeah, they've got a short shelf life. Good dude for rolling with it. Also, if you're like, why didn't they go right to the hospital? Remember that Sid told Eddie he left Gabe alone? Oh dang, the real ending. Classic. If there's one thing I can say about this movie, it's this. It's called Cocaine Bear, and in it a bear did cocaine, which was extremely entertaining. Surprisingly, I think the movie's biggest flaw is that it tries to do too much. Most of the B-plots come together in the end, but it's hard to care about these characters when each is just one of 7 side stories in a tight 90. That said, they all had one thing in common that I appreciated: parenting. Bob with his dog, Sorry with her runaway daughter, Sid trying to keep his boy in the family business while Eddie realizes how badly he's failing his son, even Henry standing up to Sid as a rebellion against his own dad. And holy crap, the bear and her cubs! She was just trying to provide for her family with cocaine. That's not to say they aren't all solid performances. Everyone gives it their all. It's just that for a film called Cocaine Bear, it kind of plays it safe. Sort of felt like instead of swinging for the fences, it hedged its bets. It wasn't sure if it wanted to be Megan, a clever PG-13 scarefest, or Evil Dead 2 and go over the top with the gore. It's funny, I'm not saying it isn't. It's just that a lot of the deaths were not funny, just really unpleasant, and considering the tone of the rest of the film, kind of disturbing. But the CGI for the bear was pretty great. A few wonky moments here and there, just like there always are, but she's mostly photoreal. The only hard part to reconcile with CGI animals is that the creators often can't help themselves with the anthropomorphism. It works for Godzilla, but bears aren't contemplating your next move with a scowl. I get that it's supposed to be scary when a bear looks at you with an angry glare, but they don't do that. And my brain knows that, so the dead-eyed stare would actually be scarier to me. That said, it was still really fun. It's called Cocaine Bear, and tearing it apart is genuinely silly. I like the bear and her cubs. I like how much cocaine they did. I like the foul-mouthed kids. I like that Ranger Liz was the worst and freaking killed a dude. I'll pretty much find it hard to hate anything with Margot Martindale in it, if I'm being honest. And Alden Ehrenreich and Aaron Holiday, who played Stash, were huge standouts. I'm one of the guys who thought Solo was pretty good, and one of the casualties of that film not doing well was that Alden Ehrenreich's career hasn't been the A-list rocket it could be, and he shows why in this movie. He's likable, funny, and believable even in silly moments. And Stash escapes and has some pretty undeserved redemption, which I kind of love. I'm still extremely excited to see what kinds of films Elizabeth Banks does in the future. This is the 3rd feature she's directed, and they've all been pretty different, and I love that. I think it's clear she knows what she's doing, even if this movie wasn't a home run. Blending comedy and horror isn't the easiest task. And she knows comedy. She's a producer on Bottoms, and everything she's done with the Pitch Perfect series has been great. I'm excited to see what she does next. And for us, next week will be one that a lot of you guessed from a blurred image last week. Guess I'm making them too easy. Also, everything great about Blade and Blade 2 are up on Nebula right now, uncensored, ad-free. Sign up!